Listen to me. You say you want success. You say you want to change your life. But every time I look at you, every time I check your routine, you're distracted. You're distracted by everything that don't move you closer to your purpose. You're distracted by people, by noise, by your phone, by what everybody else doing, and you wonder why you're still stuck. You wonder why you're not growing, why you're not breaking through. You're chasing goals with your eyes on someone else's race. How can you win when you're too busy watching them run? Let me tell you something. Distraction is the enemy of direction. You can't go anywhere if your attention keeps changing lanes. Every scroll, every meaningless conversation, every moment you spend worrying about what they think of you, that's a piece of your dream you just gave away. You keep saying, I don't have time. No, you have time. You just keep giving it to things that don't deserve it. You're not out of hours, you're out of focus. See, most of us don't lose because we're not talented. We don't lose because we're not smart. We lose because we keep letting small things steal big opportunities. You can't say you're hungry for success, but spend your best energy feeding your distractions. You can't expect your life to change while your habits stay the same. You can't ask for a new level while you're still entertaining old patterns. You keep looking for a breakthrough, but you won't break away from what's holding you back. Let's be real, your phone owns you. The first thing you touch in the morning ain't your dream, it's your feed. The first voice you hear isn't your purpose. It's some influencer you don't even know telling you how to live. You wake up and before you even talk to your creator, before you even speak life into your own goals, you already consumed with comparison. You already behind because your mind is distracted. And you call that normal. You call that grinding. Nah, that's losing with style. You don't need more motivation. You need less noise. You keep looking for inspiration when what you really need is isolation. Sometimes you gotta shut the world out so you can hear yourself think again. You gotta cut the volume of the world down so you can hear the whisper of your own purpose. You gotta stop checking who watched your story and start checking the story you're writing for your own life. Because what's the point of looking successful online if you're empty offline? Every time you choose distraction, you delay your destiny. You might not see it right away, but every small decision adds up. Every time you say just 5 more minutes, every time you say I'll start tomorrow, that's another chance you give the distraction to win. Success don't come to the one who works sometimes. It comes to the one who locks in every time. You gotta be ruthless with your attention. You gotta treat your focus like it's sacred. You gotta protect it like your life depends on it, because it does. You think people at the top got there because they lucky. No, they got there because they learned how to say no. No to comfort, no to drama, no to anything that don't match their purpose. They got tired of living half-focused, half-committed lives. They stopped letting distractions rent space in their minds. They stopped letting people pull them in every direction. They understood something powerful, that focus is freedom. When you control your attention, you control your life. Some of you keep praying for a blessing, but God already gave it to you. It's called focus, but you keep giving it away to nonsense. You want to start that business, but instead of working on your plan, you're scrolling through people who already did it. You want to get in shape, but instead of hitting the gym, you're watching videos about other people doing it. You want to improve your life, but you keep watching other people live theirs. You're not lacking opportunity, you're lacking focus. And until you fix that, nothing else changes. You say you can't find motivation. No, you lost your discipline. Motivation is loud, but discipline is quiet. Distraction loves loud. It wants your attention. It wants your time. It wants to keep you busy doing nothing. That's how it wins. But the moment you decide, I'm done giving my energy to things that don't serve me, everything changes. The moment you choose to be intentional, the moment you say, I'm not scrolling today, I'm not gossiping today, I'm not wasting my mind today, that's the moment you start taking your life back. And don't get me wrong, removing distraction ain't easy. It's a war because distraction feels good. It's comfort, it's easy, it's instant pleasure, but purpose requires patience, purpose requires sacrifice. Purpose requires you to stay locked in when nobody's clapping, when nobody's watching, when nobody's validating you. You gotta train your focus like a muscle. You gotta tell yourself, I don't need their approval to keep grinding. You gotta remind yourself every day why you started, because distraction's job is to make you forget. Every second you spend distracted is a second you'll never get back. You don't get refunds on wasted time. You don't get do-overs on missed moments. One day, you're gonna look back and realize you could have been further. You could have been stronger, you could have been free, but you let distraction convince you that average was enough. And I'm here to tell you you're better than that. You were built for more than that, but you got a focus. This ain't about perfection, it's about direction. You don't need to be flawless, you just need to be focused. Stop letting temporary pleasures block permanent progress. Stop letting cheap distractions steal expensive dreams. Get serious about your future, lock in, tune out the noise, put your phone down, turn the world off for a minute, and turn your purpose back on. Because at the end of the day, the only thing standing between where you are and where you want to be is what you choose to focus on. Listen, you keep saying you want to level up. You keep saying you're ready to win, but the truth is you feeding the wrong thing. You feeding your distractions more than your purpose. And whatever you feed grows, whatever you starve dies. That's the problem. You keep wondering why your dreams feel weak. It's because you starving them. You keep wondering why your distraction's so strong. It's because you keep feeding them every single day. You say you want success, but you keep giving your best energy to comfort. You say you want to be great, but you keep feeding excuses instead of execution. You say you're tired of being broke, tired of being stuck, tired of being average, but you still giving your time, your attention, your focus to things that don't add nothing to your life. You can't expect to grow when you keep watering weeds. You can't expect to change when you keep nurturing what keeps you the same. You can't feed both your dream and your distraction. They both hungry, but only one's gonna eat. You gotta choose. Either you feed your grind or you feed your comfort. Either you feed your purpose or you feed your pain. Either you feed your discipline or you feed your doubt. But you can't do both. You gotta decide what's more important, your feelings or your future. See, your distractions don't always look evil. Sometimes they look harmless. Sometimes they look fun. Sometimes they look like rest, but they really stealing your progress. You think you just taking a break, but that break turns into a pattern. That pattern turns into a habit. That habit turns into your lifestyle. And before you know it, you wake up and you're in the same place you were last year with the same excuses, the same distractions, the same results. And let's be real, your distractions ain't always external. Sometimes it's not the phone, it's not the people, it's not the noise. Sometimes the biggest distraction is your own doubt. It's your fear, it's your procrastination. It's that little voice that says you can do it later. It's that lazy part of you that wants the reward without the routine. That's the distraction you gotta starve first. Because if you don't get control of that voice will control your life. Stop giving your energy to things that drain you. Stop feeding conversations that go nowhere. Stop feeding friendships that keep you average. Stop feeding habits that make you weak. Every moment you waste is a deposit into your distraction. Every time you say, "I'll do it tomorrow," you just fed your comfort zone another meal. You just made it stronger, and the more you feed it, the harder it becomes to break free. You want to know why successful people seem different? It's not just talent, it's not just opportunity, it's focus and discipline. They learned how to starve what didn't serve them. They learned how to feed only what aligned with their mission. When everyone else was scrolling, they were studying. When everyone else was chilling, they were building. When everyone else was comfortable, they were committed. They understood the law of sacrifice. You can't have both comfort and calling. One gotta die for the other to live. If you want to go to the next level, you gotta stop feeding the wrong things. You gotta stop feeding your comfort and start feeding your consistency. Feed your prayer life, feed your work ethic, feed your habits, feed your discipline, feed your vision until it's stronger than your distraction. Because the truth is, discipline ain't about doing it when it's easy. It's about doing it when your distraction feels louder. And I know distractions feel good. They give you a break. They make you feel safe. They make you feel like you're not missing out. But hear me, every time you choose distraction, you're choosing delay. You're choosing to stay the same. You're choosing to tell your dream, wait a little longer. How long you gonna keep saying later? How long you gonna keep saying one day? You've been feeding that line for years, and look where it got you. You gotta make up your mind. Every day you wake up, something's gonna be hungry, your distractions or your purpose. And whichever one you feed, that's the one that wins the day. If you feed your distraction with attention, with energy, with time, it'll grow roots so deep that you can't pull yourself out. But if you feed your purpose, if you feed it with discipline, with focus, with passion, with patience, it will grow into something unstoppable. You don't need more motivation. You need more separation. You need to separate yourself from everything that keeps feeding the wrong side of you. Stop hanging where average people hang. Stop spending time with people who talk more than they act. Stop wasting nights doing nothing when you could be building something. Stop trying to fit in when you were called to stand out. The moment you start starving your distractions, they'll get loud. They'll scream for your attention. They'll make you feel guilty, but that's how you know you're breaking free, because anything that loses its control over you will fight to keep it. But you stay strong. You stay locked in. You keep feeding your vision. You keep feeding your growth. You keep feeding your purpose until it becomes who you are. Because at the end of the day, your life is proof of what you've been feeding. And if you don't like what you see, stop feeding it. Stop feeding your fears. Stop feeding your doubts. Stop feeding your comfort zone. Starve your distractions, feed your purpose, and watch how your life transforms. Because the day you stop feeding your distractions is the day your purpose finally gets fed enough to live. The reason most people never reach their full potential isn't because they're not smart, not talented, or not capable. It's because they never learn how to focus. Your focus determines your future, plain and simple. The way you manage your attention decides how far you'll go. You keep asking for success, for peace, for freedom, but you can't even sit still long enough to listen to yourself think. You want to build something great, but your mind keeps running everywhere except where it needs to be. Let me tell you something, your destiny won't chase you while you're distracted. It requires your full attention. The universe, your gift, your calling, it only responds to focus. You keep saying, "I want more out of life," but every time it's time to grind, you checking your phone, checking your messages, checking what everybody else doing. You keep talking about how bad you want it, but you can't even give it your undivided mind for an hour. You're praying for success, but your focus is split 5 different ways. And you can't expect full results from half effort. Winners lock in, they get tunnel vision, they don't care what the world's doing, they care what they're doing. Because they understand something most people don't. Focus is the real currency. Not money, not followers, not fame, focus. The person who can stay locked in longer than everyone else, that's the person who wins. That's the person who builds something that lasts. You can't keep starting over every few weeks because you lost focus. You can't keep switching directions every time it gets hard. You can't build anything real with a distracted mind. Every time you allow yourself to be distracted, you lose momentum. You lose clarity. You lose power. Focus is like a muscle. If you don't train it, it gets weak. That's why you can't stay consistent. That's why you start something strong and never finish it. That's why you got big dreams but small progress, because your focus is fragile. The moment life gets noisy, you break concentration. The moment something new pops up, you lose sight of what you said mattered. Listen, there's always going to be something fighting for your attention. There's always going to be something shinier, something louder, something easier. But you gotta decide what deserves your energy. You gotta decide what matters enough to stay locked in for. Because everything can't matter. Not everything deserves your time. Not everything earns your attention. You can't keep giving everything and everyone a piece of you, then wonder why you got nothing left for yourself. Focus is a decision. You don't stumble into it. You choose it. You choose it when your phone buzzes and you don't pick it up. You choose it when your friends call and you say, "Not tonight, I'm working." You choose it when your body's tired, but you push anyway because your purpose still needs you. That's focus, doing it when the feeling is gone, staying committed when the excitement fades. That's what separates people who dream from people who do. You gotta understand, there's a difference between being busy and being focused. Busy people do a lot. Focused people finish a lot. Busy people move fast. Focused people move forward. Busy people work on everything. Focused people work on what matters most. Stop confusing motion with progress. You running all day, but are you running toward your goal or away from it? Because sometimes distraction dresses up like productivity. Sometimes it feels like you're doing something, but really, you just keeping yourself occupied. Focus means saying no. No to noise, no to gossip, no to negativity, no to everything that pulls you off your path. You think it's harsh, but it's necessary. Because when you start focusing, people will think you've changed, and you have. You've evolved. You stopped settling. You stopped giving your best energy to things that don't pay your purpose back. You stopped explaining yourself to people who will never understand your grind. And that's what real focus looks like: peace and purpose, not approval from people. Focus requires discipline, and discipline means doing it even when nobody's watching. Everybody wants to shine under the lights, but few people want to work in the dark. You want the reward, but you don't want the repetition. You want the spotlight, but you don't want the solitude. The truth is, focus is lonely. You're gonna lose people. You're gonna miss events. You're gonna look crazy to people who don't understand the vision. But that's the price of purpose. It costs your comfort. When you finally master focus, life starts changing. Suddenly, you stop chasing and start attracting. You start creating momentum that doesn't depend on motivation. You start realizing how much you were capable of all along. You just needed to give yourself your full attention. Because when your focus gets sharp, your results get louder. When your focus gets strong, your life gets clear. You can't build an empire with a distracted mind. You can't create something meaningful while checking every notification. You can't become your best self while living like everybody else. You've got to train your focus until it becomes second nature. until your body moves in alignment with your mission, until your mind stops wandering and starts working. Because when you're focused, you stop reacting and you start directing. You start steering your life where you want it to go. Every great thing you want, peace, success, growth, happiness, it's all hiding behind your focus. And if you don't control it, someone else will. The world profits from your distraction. Every app, every platform, every piece of noise is designed to steal your attention, because attention is power. So if you want your power back, take your focus back. Don't let the world decide what matters to you. Don't let distractions dictate your direction, because the truth is you already have everything you need, the discipline, the drive, the dream. You just need to focus long enough to bring it to life. So stop drifting, stop delaying, stop doubting. Choose to lock in. Choose to direct your energy where it matters. Choose to give your dream your undivided attention. Because your future is waiting, but it's only waiting for the focused version of you. You keep saying you want to win, you want peace, you want success, but you can't hold on to any of that if you keep letting everything and everyone drain your energy. Listen to me, you can't fly high if you're carrying dead weight. You can't move forward if you're constantly fighting distractions, negativity, and people who don't believe in you. Your energy is your life. Protect it like it's sacred, because it is. Every time you give your energy to something that doesn't serve you, you're trading pieces of your potential for nothing. You've got to start treating your energy like it's valuable, because it is. It's your fuel. It's what drives your mind, your body, your spirit. But you keep giving it away to gossip, to drama, to people who bring problems but never solutions. You keep letting situations control your emotions. You keep arguing with people who don't even matter. You keep letting little things rob you of your peace, and then you wonder why you're tired, why you're unmotivated, why you don't feel inspired anymore. It's not because you're broken, it's because you're empty. You keep pouring out without protecting what's inside. You gotta learn how to say no, not because you're rude, not because you don't care, but because your energy is not free. You can't give your best to your purpose if you keep giving your rest to problems. You can't show up for your dream when you're exhausted from carrying other people's mess. Some of you keep trying to save everyone, keep trying to please everyone, keep trying to be everything for everyone, and in the process, you losing you. You can't help them if you can't heal you. You can't lead if you're running on empty. You gotta protect your peace. That means you stop letting negativity rent space in your mind. You stop letting fear live where faith should be. You stop allowing toxic people to pull you into their storm when you were built to stand in the calm. Every time you lower your vibration to match their chaos, you lose power. You gotta keep your energy high, your focus sharp, and your boundaries strong. Because not everyone deserves access to your spirit. Some people are lessons, not lifelong commitments. You know what real strength looks like. It's walking away. It's saying, I love you, but I love me more. It's saying, I can't do this anymore. It's costing me too much peace. It's saying, I forgive you, but I'm not coming back. That's strength. That's maturity. That's growth. You can't grow in a place that drains you. You can't evolve in an environment that feeds your pain more than your purpose. You gotta be intentional about who gets to be close to you. Because proximity is power. Whatever's around you will either lift you or limit you. Stop letting people guilt you into staying stuck. Stop letting the fear of being alone keep you surrounded by the wrong company. Sometimes isolation is not punishment, it's preparation. You can't hear your next instruction while you're surrounded by noise. You can't feel your next move when you're weighed down by other people's expectations. Protecting your energy means trusting your instincts, walking away when your spirit feels heavy, saying no when your soul says no, even if your emotions want to say yes. You gotta understand something, your peace is expensive. Stop giving it discounts. Stop letting people pay you in apologies when they keep costing you your sanity. Stop letting situations drain you because you don't want to seem cold. You're not cold, you're focused. You're not distant, you're disciplined. You're not arrogant, you're aligned. You can't apologize for protecting your purpose. The world will drain you if you let it. You gotta make the choice every single day. Protect your space, protect your focus, protect your fire. Energy is contagious. That's why you can't hang around people who complain all the time. You can't build with people who don't believe. You can't dream big around people who think small, because that negativity seeps in slowly. It doesn't announce itself, it spreads like poison. And before you know it, your confidence is gone, your fire is dim, and your motivation feels heavy. You didn't lose your drive, you just surrounded yourself with the wrong energy. You want to grow, you want to elevate. Then you gotta create an environment that supports that. You gotta start your day with intention. You gotta guard your morning like it's gold, because how you start determines how you finish. Stop waking up and checking chaos. Start your day with peace, with gratitude, with clarity. Don't let the world touch you before your purpose does. When you protect your morning, you protect your mindset. And when you protect your mindset, you protect your energy. Protecting your energy doesn't mean you isolate forever. It means you manage wisely. You still love people, but you love with wisdom. You still give, but you give from overflow, not depletion. You still connect, but only with those who respect your boundaries and feed your vision. Because the truth is, the people who really love you will never drain you. They'll inspire you. They'll add to your fire, not take from it. At some point, you gotta realize every time you let something steal your energy, you're delaying your destiny. Every distraction, every toxic conversation, every unnecessary argument, it's all costing you time, focus, and momentum. You only get so much energy in a day. Stop wasting it on things that don't multiply you, because when you protect your energy, everything changes. Your vision gets clearer, your confidence gets stronger, your faith grows deeper. You stop reacting to everything and you start responding with purpose. You stop chasing validation and you start walking in alignment. You stop living drained and you start living driven. Protect your energy like it's your life, because it is.